There we go. We are checking in with everyone. Hello, Fee, welcome. Hey, Russ Easley, welcome. Hey, Heidi. Hey, Ashley. So right now we are in the studio and we're going to take a tour. Yeah, we'll just wait for everyone to join in and let me know if you can hear me because I am on a new headset right now and I'm trying to do a hands-free headset so that I could take you on tour. And we're recording, so I'm hoping that everything gets recorded. Hey, Phil, welcome. Hey, Frank, welcome. Hey, Nola, welcome. Hey, Russ, just saying Heidi. Hey, Clocky, welcome. Great. And this is my Crayola color, by the way. This is raspberry. This was the color that I chose for Crayola, and this is the shade. Hey, Michelle, welcome. Thank you for noticing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the postcards. And we're going to go ahead and go on tour. And so I'm going to turn the camera around. Of course you are, Frank. Oh, first of all, before I forget, for all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. So I'm wishing all of you dads and fathers out there a happy, great day and hope you're going to be blessed with lots of blessings today and know that we are all with you. Hello, Jaws. So let me turn this around, and there's me. I had to set up a double exposure so that I could see um, what I was doing because the print gets really small, really tiny. So, um, so first of all, let's just start here. Phil, this is just for you. This is my display wall. So these are all the samples of all my work that I have. So when you ask me to get stuff uh, from to demonstrate, this is where I go. This is where I keep all of my samples. So, um, so there. Uh, and then we have that is Horatio the Hippo, and that is Robert Huntington Smythe Esquire. He was a gift, and the creator was a uh, uh, Agatha Christie fan. So there you go. Then we have Glenda the giraffe back there, Petunia the penguin. Those are my fresh flowers. I get fresh flowers once a week. Phil, I have learned to cut the stamens from you. Those, when that opens, I will definitely cut those. Um, and there is the Ode to Russ wall. That is my wall. That is all my artwork there. That's my cut paper art. And that is Artie the Aardvark with his mistletoe. That's the only way he gets kisses at Christmas is if he wears his own mistletoe. And then here is my daily postcard shrine. Uh, when I receive postcards and post them online, this is where they are posted first. Uh, so, so there you go. And that is State of the Funyuns, Duncan card, and actually, I think that one is your card, the Welcome Sailors, if I'm not mistaken. And these little holders, that little wooden holder there that Duncan's in is from the Anderson Design Group. So I'm sure many of you have one of those as well. It's a nice, simple postcard holder, and that is just a tiny easel that I've had for years. So, um, so there we go. And so what I'm going to do is these are the postcards in the collection, and these are the ones that are organized. Okay. Yes, Ashley, thank you. Ashley's the one that sent me that sailor. Oh, and speaking of Ashley, this is my to-do box, and these are all the projects that I need to still do. And Ashley, you will remember that studio card. I still have yet to get him framed, but I'm going to claim him as an ancestor. Since I don't know my biological parents, I'm going to claim him as an ancestor. But yeah, these are all the projects that I need to work on and get stored and filed and all that kinds of things. So this is uh, my current postcard storage. So these are all in drawers. Each drawer holds 1,500 postcards. And you can see all these tabs are numbered. Uh, Hello. So, so these are all numbered, and the numbering system is based upon this list that's there. And the reason I went this particular way is because um, you can rearrange them quite easily when they're based upon numbers because you can just change the numbers rather than have to change all these tabs every time that you need to rearrange things. And so this has worked for me. These will hold 5x7 cards, and they will also hold the 4x6s as well. So this is how I organized my system, and and then when you need extra spaces and extra slots, then you can just add a letter A, B, or C to the system, and then you can add that accordingly to your Excel spreadsheet so that you don't have to rearrange everything as you have room in uh, a particular area. So it's real easy to mix and match and move these things around when they're based upon this kind of system. I used to have cards with themes on them. Hey Pam, welcome. So, yeah, so this is the system that has worked for me, and then you can amend them and append them very, very easily. So I have 91 numbers, um, and then this is my Excel spreadsheet, how I can quickly find something. Hello, Jennifer, welcome. So, and this is by file number, so you can see all of these. Um, Frank, yes, these are all empty cards. These are not, these are all empty cards. So these are all cards that I can send out. Um, and then I also have a second sheet that has it by alphabetical. And this is usually the sheets that's up front. So if I need to go to Duke Ellington, I know that it is file 50, and then just go over here and look for file 50, and that's this one, and these are my Duke Ellington cards. I was very fortunate because I may have mentioned the other day that I actually performed with the Duke Ellington Orchestra, and I was their road manager. Hello, Manu. Um, and uh, and so I had access to all of their photos. So of course I got permission and was able to take some of those photos and turn them into postcards, as long as I don't sell them, which I would never do anyway, because they are property of the estate. But some of these are very famous photos of Duke Ellington, um, of the young Duke Ellington, of the older Duke Ellington, of what is called, there's Duke Ellington upon retirement, and then this was called a, this is what was called a night in Harlem, which was a concert of Dizzy Gillespie, Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, and Duke Ellington. Uh, which file do I go to the most often? I would probably have to say which is my number one file, and unfortunately it's the lowest, but it is an entire drawer of photos, of postcards made from my photos of Japan. Hey Vinu, welcome. Hello Landy, welcome. So this is the one I go to most often, and I have duplicates of both in 5x7, hey Nan, and 3x5, 4x6s. So this is one I go to the most often, and some of these I have actually put in other drawers depending upon the topic. But as you can see here, well, let me just change this around while I have it here. Um, And the other sheet that I have here is a listing of my Lantern Press cards because those are in a different place as well. Thanks, Fee. I'm really rather proud of my Japanese postcards. Um, but so this is the sheet that's normally up front, and you can see there's Alice in Wonderland, animals, art cards. Art cards has moved beyond my filing system here because I have so many of them. I have an overflow of them, and that's what I'll show you next. Is that these are all cards that live underneath my bed. So one of these boxes, and these fit 4x6s. Um, I have so many art cards that the ones I have here on file, and then I have two boxes of overflow. I have one box just for oversized cards that are bigger than 5x7 and have no place to put them. And then I have some are international cards because I bought out some people's collections of cards, and I have a lot of international cards. So that's what those are. And so these are just the ones that are filed. And then I have more overflow. This is an Amazon uh, cabinet that I bought. That I bought it anticipating that it would be uh, put together. And so this is my poor excuse of having put it together myself. The drawers don't all quite work, but it is what it is. These are Staples boxes, fit 4x6 cards, and these are the top three are the states. My voice has changed 2 octaves there. Sorry about that. And then these here are, we have five for the different states. And then back in the back, way in the back, you can't see them. I'll bring them forward, are my duplicates. These are cards that I already have out that I'm given, but I want to keep a complete set for myself. So I put all these cards in the back so I don't use them because I'm not going to use them often. And then here I have prepaid cards. Those are the postcards with prepaid postage. I had those in a regular file, but I needed the space, so I moved them here. And then these down here are my Lantern Press, and those are filed by number. So that are that is my collection of, and then I have these that I still have yet to put away. So it's always an ongoing process of organizing postcards. So yeah, the bedroom cards, yeah, those are those and then I have cards up here that need to be filed. These are my Navy cards that I just got off of eBay. So yeah, so those are the cards that I live with. Uh, once again, these are the unused cards. And so that is what this is my little foyer area. These are my paper drawers. These are all my paper samples, the papers that I use every day in my projects. Um, so these are flat files full of paper. Um, so that's what those are. And then these are my files, and I have more paper there and rolls that have not even been unrolled yet. So yeah, more artwork. That's a paper cut artist there. That's a screen print artist, one of my teachers. That's Rudy with his hat on. And these are my Jizo, which are the um, garden creatures, garden statues in Japan. And so I have a couple of postcards with those on them. I collect these kokeshi, which are wooden dolls from Japan. And of course, Ashley, there's your owl there. But I do collect wooden objects. So this is a bowl that was hand turned by a friend of mine from Burlwood. And then I have these bowls here, and these are cheese boards that he made for me. And I have these little wooden tops. So I am a big fan of wood, things made from wood. And then back there under Horatio are my tins of buttons. Um, so I collect buttons. So, and there's my sparkly box I showed the other day. So now we're going to go into the actual studio itself, so I can show you um, my mess because I still haven't recovered from uh, demonstrating this week. And this is my postcard corner here. So these are my stored postcards. So these are the received postcards. Um, and what I do is there's a system. So the white ones are for my first date for my covers. Um, and then these are for the received postcards. And then this is you know me, I have to have a system, right? So this is my system. When I receive, so yes, Heidi, sewing buttons. Um, so when I receive a card, it goes into my bedroom. It gets photographed in my bedroom because that's where all my recording supplies are. And then once it's posted, it goes up in the display that you saw. And then when it's finished with the display, it goes into this blue box. And then these are the postcards. So what I find it's easier for me to do is that rather than run from room to room, um, I have something in each of the rooms to store things, so it's easier to accommodate. So I never get it lost. So it's one in usually one of four places. So after it comes off the display, it comes into this box, which is in my room. And when this is full, I transfer these into one of these boxes. And then once all these boxes are filled, then my OCD kicks in, and I then will store them in a binder. So that's my system. And it's a system that I particularly like because it gives you some time to figure some things out in terms of how you want to organize what you're doing. And so, and that's why where I'm at right now is because what I've decided to do, and I may have mentioned this before, is I am going to reorganize my received postcards based upon sender. So I'm going to have a binder just for Frank. I'm going to have a binder just for Ashley. I'm going to have a binder just for Jim because they send me cards regularly for Eric. And so I'm going to have smaller binders so that I can go to that binder directly rather than have to go through all of the pages to see. Hey, Patty, welcome. To see to find the postcard that I'm looking for. I know Frank does send everything to Beverly Hills. Okay. So everyone has their own system. Frank has his categorized by, if I'm not mistaken, Frank, by box and by people and by date. So I'm going to piggyback on that idea and get binders for people who send me cards regularly. And then these will be left for people for like post crossing and people I get cards from at less seldomly. So that's what's going on here. And then over here, those are all my correspondence cards. I still send out a lot of correspondence cards or greeting cards, as you would call them. So that's what that is. That top box is a whole box of these oversized cards that won't fit anywhere. I love these oversized cards. People do like them as well to receive them. The thing I like about them is that if you have a stamp lover, you can put a whole bunch of stamps on here and you have a whole bunch of space to write. So for my international postcard people, they really like these particular stamps because um, I can fill it with text and or stamps. So Ashley, you're saying the white binders are covers, as in first day covers. So for example, I just put your card in today that you recently sent me. So there is your cover. So yes, envelope covers. So that's what is in the white binders. And I'm going to show you these sheets so that you can decide how it is that you want to store things as well. Because there's a variety of different ways in which you can store these. Um, so once again, these are all my covers, first aid covers. These are this is the 5x7s, and these are the 4x6s. So that's my system. And so let me show you. Let me get some light in here. And there's another one of my Jizo. And this one is an incense burner. I have incense burners in all my rooms except my bedroom. So I like incense. Maybe that's the old altar boy days. But yeah, so that's my Jizu who looks over me while I'm crafting. So if you hear me coughing during the sessions, during the art throwdown sessions, it's because I'm coughing on the incense. Because sometimes the incense will get into your throat and just give you that little tickle. But that's what's going on. So that's my Jizo there. So any questions so far? Cool. Well, I am going to sit on station and turn this around so I can have a flat surface. And there we go. Whoops, wrong way. That's me. Hello. There we go. So we're going to put this here. Whoops, I just dropped you. There we go. I'm back. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. Let me see if I can get a little bit more light over here, or maybe move this out of the way. There we go. So this is what I wanted to show you. So there are a variety of different storage systems that you can get. So yeah, here's my candy jar. I always have to have candy. Uh, what was called Immaculate Conception? Uh, so so first thing, first day covers or the envelope covers, first day of issues, whatever term you want to use. Um, and Frank, these are the ones I was telling you about. I had ordered these and they really didn't suit my needs. And so these are the ones I was offering you um, when I told you about these first day covers. These you can use these and then you store them in a box of some sort if you would like for the first day covers. They just didn't quite fulfill my needs. So I have 500 of these because you can only buy them in bulk. So, Frank, if you want these are the ones I was referring to, and you may have them. If Frank doesn't want them, anybody that has first aid covers, hey, Carrie, welcome. Um, first aid covers that want them, you may have them as well. Frank does have first option, but anybody else that may want them, you may certainly have them as well. I am not using them. It's just they just didn't fit my need. Um, so that is for covers. The other thing for covers that I use are these sheets. And these are two styles, one which will fit a standard cover, and you put one per side, so you get four per sheet. Um, and this is what I use to keep them in my binders. They have this multi-bind system, so whatever binder you have, they will fit these pages. So the American three-ring binder uses the second hole here, the middle hole here, and the second hole from the bottom here. So this is what I put my covers in. Any of my covers that are the business size envelope covers, I use this particular page. And so you just put one per side and this one, and it uses that same multi-hole system. Um, So this is what I use for my covers. Now you can use large for the large envelopes for first aid covers. What you can use is you can use these sheets. Whoops, wrong one. You can use these sheets from Staples. These are just sheet protectors. You can buy them. You can buy a whole bunch of these for very little money. And then what you do is you would simply take a sheet of cardstock, cut it to size, make sure that it is acid and ligand free. You just would cut this to size, put this in, and you would put one envelope on one side, one envelope on the other. This will save you a lot of money. But if you don't have a whole bunch of them, which is the case for many people, they don't have a whole bunch of business size envelopes that are covers. They tend to have the shorter ones that will fit in this particular sheet. So if you needed just a couple of them to fit business size envelopes, this may be an option for you as well. The other, Patty, you're asking about the sheet protectors? Absolutely. These are plastic. They wouldn't shouldn't do any harm for your stamps. So I would definitely use these. And I would use the ones that are for like business cards. It'd be a great way to organize your stamps. They also have some that are for uh, um, baseball cards, about that size as well. You can use either one of those to sort your stamps, and it's a great way to do it as well. So these are perfectly fine for that. Uh, Perfectly fine for that. So the other thing that I use these sheets for are for my postcards, and some of you have these already as well. These are just uh, plastic sleeves that have openings at the top. This fits your 5x7 cards. And what I do, and depending on some of each of us are different. So yes, Frank, the black ones are called the Lighthouse Vario series. Absolutely correct. Um, and these and Lighthouse also has some for stamps as well. And I will see if I can show those to you real quickly as well. Um, these are what I keep my postcards, received postcards in. This will fit the 5x7. You get two slots. What I do is I do them front and back so I can get four. Because when I finally put them in binders, I'm pretty much interested in the fronts rather than the backs. But then I will pull them out because they have easy access. We'll pull them out to look at the stamps that are on them. Or if you're more interested in the message, you can put them faces together and put these in. Yes, I'll put all of these sheets on the blog. It'll probably be later today, but it'll definitely be on the blog by tomorrow. Um, so that's what these are for, and then these are the ones that are for the 4x7s. And this gets into my OCD, but it is what it is. You have one horizontal postcard and you have two vertical. I tend to have more horizontal postcards, but sometimes I will put them in sideways. Sometimes I will fill them in their correct ways, but it just depends the mood I'm in. By the time they get into the binders, though, I'm a little less OCD about them. But when I get to the ones that I'm going to keep for friends, I'll probably get more OCD about it. So that's what these are for, and then I'll actually show them to you in use so you can see what they look like. Um, let me, I've shown you this system before. Patty, you might be interested in this. Um, these are the Lighthouse pages for specifically for stamps. And the nice thing about these is that these have um, little openings at the top so you can put multiple stamps in and see your stamps quite easily. And you can fit a lot of stamps in this way so that um, so that this may be an option for you as well. I know that Ashley was using some of these for some of her loose, unused stamps. And these come in three different sizes. These come in the small size, they come in a medium size, and then they come in a jumbo size. So, Patty, you may be interested in this system as well. These are a little bit more expensive than what you can get at Staples, but it depends on how you want to use them. But so I use these for stamps as well. Oh, good. Ashley, I'm glad. I'm glad they've been helpful for you. These are my used stamps. Most of these are international stamps, but you can use them for U.S. stamps easily, and it's an easy way to see all your 4-cent stamps or all your 5-cent stamps that you plan on using. So it's because what I'm doing right now is I take out my envelope, I spread them all out and pick the one to where if I use these, it would be much easier to quickly see what I have and to pick. Um, and these aren't so tight to where you can put 2 or 3 of the same stamp back to back in here without it. These are from, you can get these through Amazon as well. I will list these um, on the blog as well. So this is what I do for my stamps. And then I'm going to show you, these are my covers. Giddy, no, it's not that. Giddy says that she's so disorganized. It's just that I have so much stuff that I have to be somewhat organized because it drives me crazy. And my natural inclination is to buy it again if I can't find it, which is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And wasted so much money on buying the same thing because I can't find it. So please don't use me as any kind of as measure of how you should be. But so these are my my covers. So these are in no order yet. I had bought someone's collection out, and they just sent them to me, and they weren't in any particular order. And so I just wanted to get them out of the box and into something so they would be protected, so that I wouldn't be kicking them around my apartment and things like that. So that's what these are. Um, Heidi, you would uh, enjoy this one. Um, Heidi lives in Seattle, and of course the uh, the Sky Needle there. So yeah, so these will probably be organized by post date, or postmark, so that. But that's what this is what they look like in the binders. So it's a nice way to look at them and to see what you have, and then go from there. And it'd be a nice way. Oh, here you go, Frank. This one's just for you. This one still gives me the GBs, heebie-jeebies. Ugh, I hate that stamp. Um, so, so these will be organized differently at some point when I get, get the urge to, so that, so that's what these look like on the in the page. So, and these will all be color coded. So the white ones, the white binders, and these are 4-inch binders. Um, So all the white ones always be covers. I don't know how many more covers that I would get, but the covers that I do get, I still have plenty of space in these to put more in here, so I won't need another one of these for a while. And I have enough sheets to where whatever comes in or whatever the situation may be, I will have enough of them. These next ones are 5-inch binders, and these will be color coded as well in terms that the blue binders will always be the 5x7. Who'd you offend? Man, I'm sorry, I didn't read it. I don't think anybody's offended. Uh, no, I get the heebie-jeebies on clowns. So people know I would prefer them not to send me clowns, but people send it anyway because they think it's funny. It's not that I'm going to jump over a bridge or anything, but yeah. Um, but anyway, Um, so these are the 5x7 cards, and as you can see, um, these go in uh, two uh, two aside. And once again, these are so easy just to pull in and pull out that that if I want to see who sent it or look at the stamps, I could do that as well. And for some of you that are more interested in the obverse, you can do. I want to make sure that I'm not sending anybody's um, my addresses on it, but that's okay. Um, that you can do it this way as well if you're more interested in the stamp and in the sentiment. So and they're so easy to put in and out to where you can change your mind should you want to or not. And so this is what and you can see this is a 5-inch binder. I have plenty of space left to put more cards in here. So I'm not going to run out of space anytime soon. There's my butt. That is the David butt. Everyone knows who knows me knows that I like the Michelangelo's the David sculpture. So they send me all the pictures of Michelangelo, and I'm never offended. So and then a a Bacone picture that came from the Philippines. But yeah, so and here's a less risque David photo picture. Um, so uh, so so there we go. And like this series is from my friend Herman, who will probably get his own book as well. So I got that once again. I got that idea from Frank. So and that's the beauty of the system that I have right now is that because I'm not so far along that I can reorganize um, very easily. So which is one of the I guess one of the takeaways from this is that don't be so quick to figure out your ultimate organization because you may want to change it. But so and you have time. So so keep that in mind. So that is the 5x7 book. And then I have, and this is the one I receive most postcards in is the 4x6s. And like I said, this is the one that drives me crazy because um, this drives me bonkers. But um, it is what it is, and I'll probably do it differently for the ones that I'm keeping according to the sender. But and once again, these are so easy to get in and out. I do two per sleeve, and then they're so easy uh, to get in and out to where if I want to see who sends it, I can. Um, and for those of you who know me, uh, there's my elephants. Um, and I have to um, put an alarm on the time that I spent with these because I could literally spend hours just flipping through these and looking at them again and again and again and again. So I had to limit my time that I spent with these because I can uh, spend a whole day and before I know it, um, it's all over. So, and I've not wasted a day, but I spent a day looking at postcards to where I could have been looking at other things or doing other things. So that's how this particular system works. And so this is what works for me. I don't know if it would necessarily work for you, but this is the way I do it. And so that's that. Are there any questions? Uh, Frank, looking at stamps, for example, I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm gonna put this back. And then I'm gonna, oh, where do I keep my stamps waiting to soak off paper? Those are in the other room. Um, yeah, it's not a very pretty sight. Well, what I can show you, let me, I'm moving things around. Okay, what I will show you is this is my, I'm going to take you on a field trip. This is my go-to bag. This is all my stamp supplies for removing stamps. So I have it in one bag so that I can just easily take it away. This is what I take to the theater when I soak stamps off at the theater. So it's all in one bag. And so I'll show you what's inside the bag in just a second. I have to untie the handle. I am a bag lady extraordinaire. I have so many bags because when you live in Japan, you learn to always carry bags with you because they don't have bags for you to use, very much like California. So, but that I have all kinds of bags, and so it's very easy for me just to store things in bags according to projects, which is, and then I can very easily take them to the theater. So, Ashley, there's one. This is just a tin. You know me and tins and boxes. I love that stuff. So this is a tin. These are all stamps that someone sent me. Um, and of course, they sent them on paper. So I had to soak all of those off. This is my bottle of heptane. This is what I use to soak off adhesive stamps. I did a three-part episode of how to remove stamps, um, so that if you want to, before I started the Looking at Stamps series, it was in December of 18 or 9, I want to say 18, that I did an explanation of how to remove adhesive-based stamps. But this is the product. You can get this on Amazon, and it works like a charm. The only thing is that you have to still remove some of the glue off the back. So that is the heptane, and then I have a second bottle just in case I run out. Um, this is my sorting system. So once I sort all the stamps, then I put them in envelopes so that I can very easily put them in the storage here in the studio. So I have all these envelopes with the different themes on them so that it's really easy just to put them in. And if you sort as you go along, it's real easy to do that. Then I have my notebook. This is all of the, talk about being a bag lady. This is all of the folders that I put them in. These are all of the absorbent towels that I use. Um, I, you know how people give you tons of napkins when you go out to eat? Well, at the theater, everybody eats out. You know, food is always delivered to the theater. So we always have tons of these napkins. And they were throwing them away. And I'm like, why would you throw them away? They're still perfectly good. But the problem is that they accumulate, and then you have tens of thousands of these napkins. So I use these to blot during my stamp removal. So that's what these are used for. And then I have my tweezers, and I have X-Acto knife. And then, of course, actually, this is a whole nother bag of stamps to be done. And of course, I have my bento box, my heated bento box that I soak the stamps in. Uh, so um, so this is the system that I use to do my stamp removal, and this is one of the places that those stamps go into. Another is I have a cart in the other room that I put stamps in. So I have enough stamps to keep me busy for a while. Hey, Allison, welcome. I hope you're having a happy Father's Day celebrations in your part of the town. And I showed your Dunkin' Donuts card. So yeah, actually, that's another great idea. Is that you can use a crock pot to soak your stamps as well. Keep it on low. If you have one of those low and high settings, keep it on low. Because not because of the stamps, it's just you want to keep on low so you don't burn yourself when you're putting your fingers in and out of the stamp uh, solution. So that is that. What other questions do you have? And that's the thing about using a crock pot or using the um, bento lunchbox is that uh, the stamps um, will just magically float to the top. And so that's the beauty of that particular system. And then um, and then the other thing um, is that you want to make sure that you empty that water quite regularly because uh, I don't. Heidi's asking, do I sort my stamps by Scott number? I don't. Well, that's not true. Um, I sort my mint stamps by Scott number if they're in the sheet. I sort my loose stamps if they're mint according to denomination. But that's the only time that I use the Scott number. The Scott number is a registration number for every stamp issued pretty much throughout the world. It's given a unique number, a unique reference number, so that you can always reference a particular stamp by its Scott number. It's a catalog number. Yes, it's a great way to put it. So yeah, but that's the only time that I sort by Scott number or my unused stamp sheets. Um, so I could. We have about 12 minutes left. Yeah, I haven't looked at the digital Scott 2021 yet. I like having the Scott catalog digital version is 17.99 according to Frank. I like the printed version. I'll probably wait for that. But what I do digitally, if you go to mysticstamp.com, mysticstamps.com, MYSTIC stamps.com. You can find out the Scott numbers there, and it's a great resource um, if you haven't used it before. And Pam, that answers your question. You can go and look on Mystic Stamps, and they'll give you the Scott number as well. So you can go by a title, you can go by color, you can go by denomination. Um, so that's what I like to do digitally. Um, I just there's something. It's just like when I was young and you would thumb through the J.C. Penney's catalog and dream of all the things that you can't have. So it's the same kind of thing. I think that's why I like the printed Scott catalog. But that's a great idea. The Scott catalog 2021. Did you order it through Lynn's, Frank, or did you order it where? But that is a great deal for 17.99. Um, Maybe one of these future sessions I will show you my unused stamp collection if that's something people might be interested in. Um, So, let's see, what else? Anything else people are interested in? Yes, Allison, you're doing that exactly right. Cover yourself in stamps. Um, okay, that's Johnson Mail. Welcome, welcome. That's a great question, Fee. Yeah, with the time we have left, uh, and Phil kind of did this as well. What would be my go-to crafting startup kit of the things that you must have to start in projects? I think the very first thing, and Allison has covered some of this in ATD as well, is the first thing you have to have a paper cutter of some sort, whether it be a rotary cutter like I use, or whether it be a Fiskars blade cutter. That's the first thing. You need something to cut your um, your long paper with. So that's the first thing I would start off with. The second thing I would start off with is a dedicated pair of scissors just for paper. It could be like a smaller set of scissors like this. This is a Japanese set of scissors. It fits in your hand. Um, this has a curved blade to it, which is interesting. I tend to use Fiskars products, so that that's what I use, and I have Fiskars um, scissors by the dozen. And I have them in all different shapes and sizes. So a pair of scissors. I would also throw in a bone folder of some sort, so that if you're going to do any kind of creasing, if you're going to need anything to mark on paper, to get a flat fold, to get a sharp crease, I would get a bone folder of some sort. Now, the nice thing about getting bone folders is you can get these in conjunction with other products. So, for example, you have these scoring kits, um, like a scoreboard. This isn't necessary, absolutely necessary, but if you get this, then you'll also get a bone folder. And then you can also use some of your your paper cutters as a scoring machine as well. What you can do is if you move the blade down, you can use the edge of the cutting surface as your place setter, and then you can use it to score your product. So there what's the word? There are ways around. There are hacks that you can use for any of these kind of things. But I would definitely have a bone folder as well in your arsenal. I would definitely have a uh, hand cutting tool, whether it be a scalpel, or whether it be a, let me see if I can find one quickly, or a X-Acto knife. And the difference is, um, an X-Acto knife, these knives are going to have a round barrel. And the problem with this is that you can get carpal tunnel because of the pressure that you put on these if you use in continual use. So that's what you want to be careful in this type of instrument. It's a great instrument. This one has a gripper uh, solution on it. It has a way to replace blades quite easily. This is real easy. And while you have one of these, go ahead and get extra blades. Your biggest enemy when using one of these cutting utensils is a dull blade. And while you do that, go buy you a can of peanuts if you enjoy peanuts like I do. Once you eat all of them, what you do is you take the top, you cut a hole in it, and this is where you put all of your sharps. Always have a sharps container if you're using a handheld cutting tool. Always. Because you don't want to throw these in the trash. because many times I've seen too many people, especially in an art studio, that reach into the trash for something they inadvertently throw away and they get cut with a sharp that's been thrown away. Um, this is a scalpel. This is what doctors actually use. The benefit of this is because it has a flat handle, it causes less pressure on your hand and it's less likely to get carpal tunnel for overuse of this. It's a lot lighter as well, and it fits much more easily between your thumb and this finger here, whatever this finger is. That the forefinger? Whatever that finger is. And you don't have to exert as much pressure when you're cutting. So that's what I would use as well. Um, have a ruler of some sort. Um, I would, I like these grid rulers, but you need to have of course, I can't find it when I need it. I like the corked back metal rulers as well. I'm sure you've all seen those. Of course, I can't find mine exactly when I need it, but I would definitely have one of those as well. You're going to need some glue of some sort. Have all kinds of glue. I prefer glue sticks, and we all know my favorite, which isn't readily available, is the Yoo-Hoo UHU. It comes in a yellow uh, tube. That is my glue stick of choice, but you can get any kind of glue. Um, so, and then a mechanical pencil and eraser, something to make marks with. And the thinner the lead point, the better. So, does that answer your question? Did I leave anything out that people want to um, know about? Let's see. Yes, we can do the feature stamp collection. We won't necessarily do that next week, but we'll definitely do it. Block printing, okay, we can definitely do that. I do have the magic lenticular stamp, so I have that as well, and I have several of them. To be quite honest with you, I have several sheets of those, and I still have your scratch off stickers. They're called. I gave you the wrong name. It wasn't frozen. It's frozen treats was the name of the stamp set. I forgot what I called it online, but it's frozen treats is the name of it. Um, Great. Check items on Russ's blog. Um, Wet and dry adhesives. I use PVA is a great adhesive. It's in essence it's industrial Elmer's glue. That's a great wet adhesive. For dry adhesives, you have a variety of different options. I'm a big proponent of spray adhesive. I use a lot of spray adhesive. I'm not right now during the COVID. I'm not too keen on using aerosols right now, but and the other thing is with spray adhesive is that you should use it in a well ventilated area. But maybe we'll hold that off for next time because I've got about a minute left. This went by fast today, didn't it? Thank you for spending the afternoon. Definitely Mod Podge to use as a sealant. I agree with that as well. Um, so yeah, we can do that. And Fee, what I'll do for you is I will put my suggestions in the blog post as well. So it'll be all in one place for anybody else that may want to have a start off kit. I won't necessarily put links to them, but I will give you suggestions of what to put in and then of course have something to keep it all in, either a box, a toolbox. So thank you very much. We're going to get kicked off here any second. It's been a great afternoon. Have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll see you Monday night. Bye bye.